What's going on, guys? It's Float Locker. Just want to do a quick video on Tesla. I made a few trades actually within the past week and a half on it. Won twice on it and lost once. Um, just wanted to go over it and just kind of review it. So yeah, so when it ran up last week to 115, I did trade it around here. I bought some 97, I believe $97 contracts at 20 cents, and I sold most at a dollar, and the rest around 60 cents. So I made a nice gain on that. I was playing the weeklies, and it was a Friday. Otherwise, I would have held because I had a feeling it was going to gap on Monday, which it did, and this thing ripped hard. Would have been nice, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. Saw the spike on Tuesday, and it just pretty much tanked after that. I didn't even look at it. I mean, I watched it here, kind of just chopping around, and then it finally broke down. I saw this move down to 88 last week, and I was I was kind of anticipating this, pulling back pretty hard. So I saw it kind of bounce up here, and I actually took a position on this candle here. Bought some puts. It started breaking down, and then it just popped back up, bounced again, and just not really a lot of volume to be too sure of a move downwards. So I took it off and had a small loss in it. Nothing to cry about. And then just kind of left it alone the rest of the week. Uh, Traded some other plays, but nothing really was working all week. Only made a few trades. Then on Thursday, it makes a nice, it's well, actually Wednesday. It moves up. Thursday is when I got in. And let's go to a better chart here. So, oh, not the one that I want. Let's go 3 days. But all right, should be Thursday. Yep, here we go. And actually, I bought into this on Thursday on a break here. See, I saw this had a huge candle in the morning, big volume. I figured they were going to try to run it to 100 again, rip these shorts, and then just kind of watched it in the morning. Uh, Usually in the mornings, when this has a big run, it usually likes to just rip hard in the mornings, and then midday it just chops around, and then it tries another break later in the day. So I watched this form. I was watching this level here. Tested it once. I didn't get in. I saw the pullback, and I figured this 98 level was key here. So uh, I just figured I would just buy on the break of 98 because when this thing rips, it rips pretty hard. Shouldn't be any worries of any failed breakouts when this thing breaks out because this thing goes crazy. So I actually bought on this candle here, or actually this candle here when it broke 98, and then I bought the $98 contracts. So I bought some here, and then started ripping. I figured it was on its way to 99 and 100, but then the market took a shit. The SPY literally took a dump right at that moment, and kind of pissed me off. I can actually show you the exact time. Let's see, what time was that? That was 8:40. So at 8:40 on Thursday, yeah, so right at 8:50 Pacific time, I bought around this area. I bought Tesla when the SPY was trading here, and then all of a sudden this big dump. this thing dumps massively. I mean, it just rides down, and it literally brought down Tesla. Tesla was. I figured if the SPY didn't do that, if the market didn't have that crazy dump, I figured this thing would have broke out nice. So I saw this and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was about to get out, but then I noticed the market was going down. I was like, oh, okay, let me ride it out. So it chopped around here for a bit, and then kind of bounced off the 160 level. So pretty much filling the gap on the SPY, um, what everybody was looking for. There was a huge gap that wasn't filled earlier. If I go down to, let's just go back, you'll notice a big gap. This gap right, nope, sorry, not that gap. This gap right here. Actually, let's bring it in a little bit sooner. We do 30 days. Yep, right here, the 160 gap here from this. Everybody was looking at this to fill. So when this started pulling back, you know, sentiment was people want this gap filled. So no buyers were coming in on this market. And on Thursday, it touched it. It almost filled it completely, but it must have been good enough because this thing started ripping back. So back to Tesla. We'll go back here and just I got in, and I actually averaged down here. I figured usually I don't want to average down, but I pretty much doubled down here. Uh, Bought some in the I believe $1.30, the $98 contracts in the $1.30s, and up here I got in around $2.30, and then here I got in $1.30. So I had a average under $2, so it wasn't too bad. Uh, when it closed, the contract was still under what I bought it, so I was a little skeptical, little worried, but I mean I wasn't in too large, so I mean it wasn't too bad. Then on Friday morning, big pop, definitely a good sign, and then just kind of weathered this chop, just didn't want to break down here, so I started making this move up, and it would turn out to be a great play. I bet a lot of people were just looking at that $100 again, looking for it to break through again. So that was my game plan. I was gonna hold, and usually like after this here, this chop, I would have gotten out for a loss. And the past like month has been this situation has actually gotten me out of a lot of positions that could have been profitable. Like let's go to VVUS. Um, I want to go. Yep, let's go back a few more here. And yep, exactly. So I bought in VVUS. It was somewhere around here, and I sold in the 1350s around this day. I sold this day in the 1350s, and I was like, every time this had a breakout or like it looked like it was breaking out, it looks like it breaks out, then it fails. Kind of breaks out, then it fails. Kind of breaks out, it fails. But I mean, it was moving up, and it's just stupid of me not to just have a little patience. Like in this market right now, you're gonna have some patience, and I am an impatient person, but I am working on being a little bit more patient now, because I mean, it's been losing me money, losing on some potential profits here. So I literally sold here. Like this thing was testing 1350, just wouldn't break, wouldn't break, wouldn't break, and then it had like a big pullback at the end of the day. I sold around here. I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm done messing with this thing. So which was stupid. And then after this big sell-off, I'm like, you know what, and I just kind of just took it off my watch list. I was just tired of watching. I mean, I made a little profit. It was, you can't be mad making profits, right? So, but the next day this thing fucking rips to 15 from 1350 to 15. My options, I think they would have doubled. You know, I left a potential like $1,000 on the table. Uh, so yeah, you know you see that and you're like, what the fuck? Seriously, like really, all the way up to 16. And I was trading on a short term chart here. I was in looking at the big picture. I should have saw this formation forming, and I figured this 1350 was big resistance due to this level here. 1350, the whole, you got the whole number 1350, which is already resistance in itself, and then you got this level here, kind of chopping down that was support that broke down into turned into resistance. So there was a lot of factors going against me. I figured this thing was gonna just kind of range out here. The stochastics not showing what I wanted. Kind of like overbought up here, and that's not really how you read the stochastics. You should, on an uptrending market, you should just look at the oversold areas on when to buy. So, I was just just kind of got impatient. It was just emotional. The emotions got in. I was just getting frustrated. I was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm just not gonna sit here and babysit this thing. And the next day, she rips. I think I held her for like 2 days. Should have held one more day, but whatever. So that's one. And then UNXL, another example of me not being patient. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just not even gonna go deeply into it, but I was trading it, had some puts, was looking for, let's see, this, I believe, this move. It was this day actually. So what day was that? The 31st. Let's just go back. Let's go back like 10 days. And yep, here, just kind of bought some here, bought some puts here, I believe. Oh no, I had some puts up here, I believe. But I just kind of, oh no, yep, I bought them around here. Just kind of looking at the chop. Just waiting for it to break down, and then my lack of patience got me out again. This thing kind of popped up, low volume, hit 1622, and I got out when the stock hit 1620. I was like, you know what, I'm out. And I mean, this is more just bad luck. I think this was a good trade that I got out, because I mean, this easily could have just kept breaking out and going. But got me out here, squeezed me out, and then she finally on the next candle had her breakdown, and that's the move that I was looking for. So I missed out on money there too. And there's I believe another trade where that's the same thing happened, and I figured with Tesla, I kind of ride it out. Ride it out a little bit. Don't be too quick in getting squeezed out of your position. Because, I mean, the chart looked good. It was the past few days. It bounced off the $90 level, and it had a nice pullback after its rip, and then it just kind of popped up again. So I figured it was gonna make its nice little bounce after that big sell-off from 115 to 88. It still has huge range. So it was starting to find buyers, and the odds looked in my favor. So, and even though with this little hiccup here where I bought in here, and then she sells off. I mean, I just gotta attribute that to the market selling off, and kind of just affected this, but it kind of held its ground. So it looked good holding into Friday. Usually I don't like holding weeklies overnight, because the next day they get, they have that time decay, and that really eats into your capital. But yeah, had a nice run the next day. So I sold half my position when I believe when she broke 101 into 102. So it was valued around $3. So I sold half my position there for a nice double, and then chopped around, and I was like, you know what, I'm letting the rest run. She tested, she went up, and I thought she was gonna break 103. You know, she hit 102.90. You know, I waited on this pullback, and then she just kind of chopped around the rest of the day. So I took the rest off, obviously, because the weeklies expire on Friday. I had no choice. I think it's hard to tell. You know, I was looking for a close over 103. If it would have closed over 103, I would have got a, I would have had another position for next week in. You know, I probably would have bought the weeklies for next week and hope for a gap up. You know, on Monday. But this was a little indecisive for me. It might gap down Monday. It could gap up and run. You know, so I was hoping for the 103 close, but you know, whatever. I'll just play it on Monday. So made a nice profit, like 100%. I believe 100% profit on it. So not bad at all. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.